Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BattlefieldOne Podcast, episode 8. And today, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, a bit of controversial stuff and all of that, but hopefully you're gonna enjoy the podcast. So whoever listens to us, like to our regular listeners, welcome back. And whoever is the new guy or lady, hopefully some ladies will listen to this. So welcome to the podcast. We offer hugs, rainbows, and unicorns, and a lot of Battlefield talk. So if you're interested in the podcast, please stick around and have a listen. And before I'm gonna continue, I'm just gonna ask my crew members to introduce themselves. Cyanide.
Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever it is you're listening from. Hi!
Dark Eater,
Hello.
and Prenato, the guy that always gets high. Alright, are you high right
Hello,
now?
everybody. Of course.
Are you high? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good. You're
Yeah,
high.
well, not as like usual. I mean, goddamn, it took the time to start today, but
Yeah, it took forever in order to get around to recording. There was a patch delay, that's about all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but yeah, the podcast is a bit delayed because of the patch notes. But anyway, guys came in to work on Saturday, so kudos to them. Before we're gonna continue, I'm just gonna say this, that to our regular listeners, they know already, but to our new people that are joining the podcast, I just want to say that we have an audio version of the podcast in the description. So if you don't have the time to watch the whole video, you can always download the audio version of the podcast in the description, and you can listen to our annoying voices any way you want. So I think that's a cool thing. Also, we also have a separate channel on Twitter and YouTube. So if you don't want to watch all the other content I post on YouTube or listen to my ramblings on Twitter, you can always follow the specific accounts and subscribe to a specific account if you're just interested in the podcast. So it's a win-win for you, and it's free. So always feel free to check those things out. Other than that, I think I said everything I need to. I think. All right, audio. Oh yeah, Squirrel's birthday is today. So happy birthday, Squirrel.
Yeah, Squirrel Boy, which is probably the reason why you're not here for recording today. So happy birthday to you, but it's probably gonna be belated by the time you hear this. So there's a reason why we didn't say anything. We figured you'd be here, but there's a reason why you're not here right now. So happy birthday.
He's probably getting drunk or something like that. Hopefully, I don't know.
how old does Squirrel get?
Wait, holy god, shit.
He's probably streaming this at us right now. I have no idea.
Anyway,
I know.
anyway.
If he gets like 21 or something, I mean, then we shouldn't expect him anyway.
If you're over 21, have a drink. If you're under 21,
Anyway, we just wish you a happy birthday, so hopefully you're having a great time. Alright, so audio version, the Twitter, the YouTube, everything I said, everything. Yeah, I think I said everything. So let's go on with everything that happened in the Battlefield video game franchise. Alright, the first thing that is obvious one is the summer patch. It's finally got a release date. It's gonna come out on the 1st of September. Finally, people speculate when it's gonna come out. And this Tuesday, which is gonna be probably tomorrow because I'm releasing the podcast tomorrow, is gonna include a night operation map, which is our graveyard shift. BF4 Central actually did a bad reporting on that end because they said there's gonna be a new weapon with the summer patch, which is not true. We can confirm that there's gonna be no new weapons with the summer patch.
yeah, it was just bad wording. They were supposed to say it was supposed to be another
Yeah.
weapons pass, and as for what that pass was, we'll get onto that a little bit later too.
Yeah, so probably grammar mistake or something like that. But yeah, there's no new weapons with the summer patch. There's only one brand new map, and that's it. Unless they meant the renaming of the L9 sniper rifle, but that's anyway. There's some bug fixes. Reload bug is fixed. 3.1.3 system is going back to the jets. So whoever was complaining about the prototypes that go included in the spring patch, we're going back to the old system. So jet guys, I think it's a good day for you, I guess. I don't really know.
Some people will be happy, but
Some people will be happy.
I prefer to see the system finished than reverted. But
Yeah.
you know, it's not finished
that-
yet.
DICE said a lot of times they are not happy with this system, so they're gonna change it sooner or later. But anyway, that's Battlefield 4, I guess. I mean, I think I don't really know. Right. What else? Loads of bug fixes, netcode updates. Oh yeah, with the summer patch, 1620 hertz servers, like they're not included in the summer patch, but the groundwork for them to work
One
on
more
retail.
of them because
Yeah.
some was already I think somebody already came out with the last patch that happened. So now this is the next stage in the groundwork that needs to be done. So then there's I guess they're start testing the provider soon to see if they can handle all that stuff for it, and then
So yeah, they're just laying the groundwork for the servers to work on retail. But don't. But yeah, there's some netcode updates and everything. So netcode is not it's still getting updates on the summer patch, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about summer patch. So we're not gonna mention all of it because it's a big list. Just a quick notion for the PS3 and PS4 guys in Europe, because you're gonna get a patch a week later on the 8th of September. What's the reason behind that? I have no idea. Because North America again the update on the same day, so I don't really know. North America is again on the 1st of September, while Europe is a bit late. But that's PlayStation, guys. And that's kinda it when it comes to the summer patch. Right, maybe you want to talk about the CTE patch, because I've been talking for a while now.
no, this has been a really nice another graphical pass. Everything still looks pretty nice. There's a lot of the other stuff that I really want to talk about is a little bit later on down the line. I mean, just the basic patches and the stuff. So far, it's just doesn't really phase or bother me all that much.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna say this, because you kind of like me, CTE. Anyway, so TDM got included in the community map, and this is a bit different because this is the first time we had in Battlefield map we have two different layouts for TDM and Gunmaster. So we have two layouts for the map. So one of them is the Ghost Town, which is the mill flag in Conquest, and the Plantation area, which is the E flag. Is it A, B, C? Yeah, that's the E flag. That's the E flag. The Plantation area, because A is the medical clinic, B is the temple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So-
and with that and all the areas that they included, they had to make all the little small graphical updates and the tweaks and neats that needed to be done because you're going to be paying more attention to those intricate areas, and there are just little shifts here and there for cover and obvious stuff. Typical stuff that's really done between the changes that are done between the actual Conquest large map and then the TDM maps and stuff. So there's other maps where this happens, where there's just small stuff that's tweaked and changed around for the TDM or DOM map or this map or that map between this variant of it or that variant. My cat is playing with everything right now.
Are you drunk right now or something?
No, the cat is just running off with paper right now. And it's I'm gonna throw a pen at it.
Come here, kitty.
Come here, kitty.
Come here, kitty. It is anyway. So yeah, two TDM maps. I mean, they play well, right? I guess.
Well, yeah, and this is also an awesome thing because it's the first time that there's been two different layouts for a specific game mode, and I'd like them to keep this.
They already did that in Savot, I remember.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Gunmaster is gonna have a different layout for Zawad Night map. That's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a different layout. It's gonna be the A and B flag. I actually forgot about that. So yeah. So this is a thing apparently. Right. So what else? Graphical update. A bit of some terrain changes to the map. Like some buildings were moved to the bit. Some objects were moved to the right, to the left, or whatever. Just a little bit, just to give more cover to the infantry guys, I guess. Just to make the map flow a bit more naturally, I guess.
Yeah.
So some graphical updates, and the map is real bright right now. Also check on map. I think it's supposed to be like that. Little mention. All right, little mention. There's a secret passage located on the community map.
And chances are you've already known about it by now.
Yeah, Daniel on PC posted a video that went viral where he shows the passage, and rumors are spreading that the Phantom program will be continued as the community map will be dropped. So which is gonna be in 2 months, maybe 3 months, when the autumn patch is gonna hit retail.
Yeah.
So that's when the community map is gonna be dropped. So there's a chance that it's gonna be the Phantom program, and with that, because there's new 2 types of arrows were included with the bow, and that's why we talked last podcast about it. So that's why people presume it's gonna be the Phantom program.
It is a little convenient timing, but at the same time, I don't want to jump the gun and say that these might be tied in with it. But there's a lot of reason to speculate.
Is your? I just heard your bloody fan in the background.
That's not my phone.
Is it?
No, my phone is muted.
No, not your phone. Your fan, air conditioner.
Oh, you bastard!
I hear it.
I hear you.
I hear you. Anyway, Dark, I know you really want to talk about the Easter eggs.
Easter egg. Oh, do I?
What's your opinion about the Easter eggs? About this
My
Phantom
opinion on Easter eggs is that I
I
don't.
know you
really...
got the whole thing for yourself and for the rest of the podcast, but I just want your opinion on this.
My opinion is that I don't mind the fact that I think the amount of time that they'll mappers will devote to putting into these Easter eggs. It's not like it's a major amounts of time have been devoted to this, but I personally I don't like the whole Easter egg thing because I feel it distracts the community from perhaps more important issues and questions, and I don't like the fact it draws a lot of focus, and there have been times in the past where I felt like it was distracting people from more important issues that were going on in the game at the time. Like at the moment, I don't think there's any big nasty issue that's we're being distracted from, but I'm not that keen on the idea, to be honest. It doesn't appeal to me.
I like
Yeah.
Battlefield and Easter eggs. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
I like Easter eggs, and I think Easter eggs were always a part of Battlefield. So, and because I like Battlefield, can't say
personally-
anything bad about it.
Personally, I'm like, you know what? When Easter eggs first became a thing, I was interested because you knew there's a mystery to it. But now we're actually hitting the stage with Easter eggs that now it's becoming like a thing. It's I don't want to call it mainstream, but the mystery is gone. It's like I already mentioned before the podcast. Like the dev is making a game, yeah, and the dev says, "Oh yeah, here's an Easter egg here. You can locate it here and it's shit." All right, what's the point of the Easter egg? It's not an Easter egg anymore. It's not a secret anymore. This is
it's
what I
just
love.
It's not only
It's-
that, but it's basically all the YouTubers and stuff are making basic videos about it. I mean, I don't know. I won't really complain about that because you won't know about a lot of shit, except you watch such a video. But I mean, it doesn't matter whether the dev says it, because like somebody would anyway say, yeah, here it is.
To me, the mystery is gone.
Yeah.
At first, I cared, like it was interesting and like that. I was hooked on it, and now like, oh, new Easter egg, like I give a shit. Also, oh, Phantom program, whatever. I'm like, I was interested back before we unlocked the boat. It was interesting. It was fun.
Yeah.
Now it's just like fucking useless. Like I don't
Just-
give a shit.
I'm
Personally,
just more a fan of like the small Easter eggs, like stuff like the plaque on 20 and Wake Island.
The actual thing of
Like-
Easter eggs on Flood Zone.
Not that. Anything. But anyway, enough about Easter eggs because I can rant about the Easter eggs for a while now. Just a quick question because I'm not a weapon guy, but some people really, really love weapons. And let's talk about the shotguns because shotguns go on nerf. They reduce the damage for the box shot and fletchet. That's how you pronounce
Flechette.
flechette. So they're not gonna be that OP in range, right? Like they are right now. So that's cool.
Just
but
for
the-
information, we're talking about the CT.
Yeah, it's not gonna be in the
zero.
included summer patch. Sorry, guys, it's not gonna be included in the summer patch.
Really? Is I
Unless
think this is something. They said something in the last patch notes about like summer patch coherence. So
Yeah, if
Basically-
it's in the CT patch now, I'm pretty sure it'll be in the summer
Yeah.
patch.
But I mean, what Lanky was referring to were like the shotguns in CT pre this patch, and they were OP in distance. Yeah,
well,
I mean,
it depends how much they reduce though.
I could make 44 damage with like really what would I assume is too far with like the 870. And I
Okay.
mean, yeah,
Well, I don't know. We have to wait and see. And this one I like laser designators. They increase the distance to be that you can actually lock with PLD from 300 meters to 500 meters. And it's not a big thing, but for me personally, yeah, give me that.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah,
PLD is far too short, man.
well, yeah, I want that. I want those javelin squads on the mountain and
Yeah, it's
killing.
giving it a little bit more extra range and a little bit more target acquisition range. That's a lot. That's an awesome thing, and I'm hoping it kind of encourages it a lot more often. Not so much trying to use it against jets per se. Let's not be that derpy, but against
Unless a
armor
bad
and
pilot.
AA and stuff, like now there's a better chance that if there's an AA that's in camp somewhere, you can actually use a javelin squad in order to eliminate it. You've given that squad a little bit more of a grace period before that AA can spot them and totally wreck their shit. So good job on that one. Maybe a little bit more, but no.
And that's kind of it. I mean, I guess I don't want to include other stuff because it's too much. Right. So Dark, this is your area because you want to talk about the turrets. I'm just gonna say this. I'm happy. You know why? Because I'm a tank driver. I'm a tank driver. I'm like, oh, this is not getting nerfed. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm gonna wreck people more. So I'm like, I don't give a damn. But anyway, Dark, go on. Turret changes. It's all you.
So this is just like a public service announcement for, especially for PC players, but I mean it does affect console players to an extent. In CT, the developers have been working on a new turret sensitivity system because if you've like played outside, well, currently in retail, if you use different turret seats in different kinds of vehicles, like a Jeep main turret gun versus the tank's 50 cal, there's a big difference between sensitivity, and so people requested some system to make it all the same, and so they tried this new system, but there was some sort of like issue at the last minute that meant that the way that the turret speed is limited wasn't going to work because they changed it. Before, the turret limit speed was tied to the sensitivity, so if you wanted to change the sensitivity of the turrets, you would have to make the turrets faster. But they were trying this new system to fix it, and some new bug popped up at the last minute and basically snookered the plans. So they implemented a last minute fix, but the downside of it was that it makes tank turrets faster than they are in vanilla. So using some data from testing, the speed of the tank turn rate has been tweaked so that it's as small as possible for good handling, whatever. But we're expecting a speed of like a speed increase of around 20%. But it shouldn't affect consoles because the turn limit on consoles is mainly decided by the joystick limits. Like you can't turn your joystick further than the edge of the ring on the joystick, so it shouldn't be an issue for consoles. But there's also other issues, like there's a discrepancy between the up-down axis and the side-to-side axis. Like if you change the the turret sensitivity for vehicles, the horizontal axis gets more sensitive, but the up and down axis doesn't seem to get more sensitive in the same way, and you get this funny feeling. And I think that is going to affect consoles because they are now adding a vehicle sensitivity slider to consoles. But there shouldn't be an issue if you leave it on the default of 20%. So as long as you leave it on default, it should feel completely even in the X and Y axis, so I've been told. So while you've got the option to turn the turret sensitivity up separate from player sensitivity, finally, you might want to leave off changing it until maybe the fall patch. But, you know, it's up to you. Play around with it and see how it feels.
Well, for me personally, it really felt fast. I mean, when the first time I tried, like, oh shit, this is too good to be true. But again, I'm a tank driver. I'm like, I could be biased. I'm really biased when it comes to tanks, but I understand the reason behind it's too fast. Even I have to say it's a bit too fast for retail.
Have you played with the latest version now?
Now with the last patch that was yesterday. None with the last yesterday's patch.
Well, no, I think it was changed before. I think you'll have played with it.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then I did. Yeah, I did.
But I don't know whether you put much thought into it, but
yeah, I did because I specifically went to the empty server just to check out the turrets.
okay.
It still felt ridiculously fast. For me personally, like holy shit! But even my heart says yes, but my mind says no because I know it's a bit too fast. Even though I'm enjoying this, but I know it's a bit too much.
I forgot to mention they are intending to fix this. It's not. It's going to be a temporary thing until the fall patch when they'll.
Okay.
Because between now and the fall patch, they'll be working on this in CTE until it works, but they can't implement a proper fix until fall patch.
I can already see this coming, like people crying, like, oh, last time, like chat players, blah blah blah, and you fucked it up, and now the tanks, they're too fast.
Yeah, but I mean the issue is, I don't think we can say. I mean, I certainly don't think it's an issue with the way people play CTE. The testers picked up on the speed difference pretty early on.
But
So,
Dark, CTE players ruined Battlefield. Don't
no,
you know
no,
that?
no.
We ruined Battlefield.
It's not the CTE players, and to say
No, we're not.
it's like some sort of incompetence on the developers' part, I don't feel you can say it like it's as clearly cut as that. I think there's restrictions put on them. I think it's the whole fact that the patching system has such a strict timing. Like, if they could just release a hotfix, like a patch, like a few days after the initial patch, this wouldn't be an issue. But it came up at the last minute, and so they could either cut the whole system out entirely. Which
this would mean no high tick rate probably. I mean,
Well, yeah,
the system came in place because of the high tick rate, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause that was the main idea.
No, I think like the whole turret even sensitivity thing that was completely separate from the tick rate.
Okay.
but-
Okay.
That's what now we've been told a couple of months ago, when the tick rates was introduced, and it felt like garbage on.
No, it's
60.
because the tick rate. Part of the issue was from the tick rate. The way the tick rate. When you up the tick rate, it has a strange effect on the turrets. I think it
Yeah,
makes
but what
Yeah,
I mean,
the
if
physics,
they
affects
would
the physics, yeah.
if they would scrap the whole like new thing and just leave it as it is currently in Battlefield, because they don't have any turret fixes so far, right? In vanilla, the retail.
Vanilla, no, it's the same thing.
So
as
yeah, basically, if they leave it, it won't be ready for.
Oh
high
yeah,
tick
yeah,
rate.
I suppose.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
So they
like
had
we
to do
said.
something,
Yeah.
and we've just got like the best that they could manage in the time. Because I was talking to one of the developers, and he was saying when they were like fixing it, when they were considering how to fix it, it wasn't like a matter of days until they had to have it
Yeah.
fixed. It was like a matter of hours, essentially.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, again, everything began with the tick rate, but whatever they need to do, I guess, let them do it. Even though it's a bit fucked up, if you ask me, with the patch deadlines and everything like that. So I can understand their point.
well,
of view.
I don't know who like.
Yeah, who's responsible for all the?
I don't. It could be. I've never asked. Well, I've never had an answer, at least, or heard an answer of why there is a strict like deadlines. I mean, I would have thought that like the time it takes. How often they release patches is probably decided by how much like. There's probably some sort of system. Maybe it's like how much money they get, and they can't do more patches because it costs more money. I don't know.
Yeah, you said,
Maybe the fee.
they said something
But-
once like that, but basically it's a financial decision that they have like
Yeah.
4 patches a year.
Yeah,
That they have
And-
patch schedule.
and I think maybe the fact that they have to do it by a certain time. I mean, I know some developers get paid based on milestones, and if they don't complete those milestones, they don't get more funding from the publisher. And so, like EA does own Dice LA, and so maybe if Dice LA doesn't, I mean, this is pure speculation, but maybe if they don't release a certain amount of patches in a year, or by a certain time, they don't, they get someone starts asking questions or something.
You're right in that aspect, because that's how that works in the industry. It's just that doesn't work in all studios, not all publishers.
Well, yeah.
That. So I mean, that's not saying that that's how EA does it. But that being said, given the fact that they have deadlines on patches like that, I mean, I could be reason to believe that, yeah, if they don't hit certain milestones, they don't have certain things done within a certain time frame, or at least to a certain point, then yeah, they don't get funding for another time frame, or they don't get, paid, period. They could, be contract workers. I mean, it's depending upon how that goes as well. But that's getting a little bit too deep into how things work there. So
someone's going to say that I'm trying to make excuses for Dice LA, but I'm not.
That's the industry, baby. That's how it goes.
That's how gaming is, right?
That's how the industry goes, baby. You just got to deal with it.
That's how gaming works right now.
Yeah.
But okay, anyone wants to add anything about the turrets?
They're really fucking fast. I'm currently on the CTE test right now. Oh my god!
I'm telling you, dude, like I said.
I mean, on the PC it's like even worse because I have the sensitivity on 28%. I don't know. I have like probably a rather higher mouse DPI because of all pretty low. But oh my god!
I'm telling you, my heart says yes, my mind says no, because this
is like I got drive 180.
Dude, the 360 montages, here we come, holy crap.
Not that. It's not
no,
that
it's
much
not,
more
it's,
than it is.
Yeah, it's not that. Okay, we might...
I think it's the sensitivity that's making more of a difference, because probably to turn at the max turn rate on like retail, you have to have like the highest sensitivity. Whereas...
because of the acceleration on the PC, I don't really have a limitation with that.
Well, I don't know. At the same time, I'm like...
It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. It's not that bad as we saying like, oh my god, it's really fast. Yeah, it's fast, but it's not like game-breaking. Let me say that. It's not game-breaking.
It's not really more game-breaking than it was before.
Yeah. It's not like 3-1-3 system for chess or something like that. No, it's less kind of like smaller, but it's not. To be honest, this is not even a. This is really, to be honest, not a bad thing if you ask me. It's a good thing, but it's a bit too good, maybe. I don't really know.
We'll have to see what the public thinks when this.
We'll have to check Balog, how the Balog reacts. I mean, the Balog is always juicy for complaints and everything like that, so that's gonna be good. So yeah, stay on the Balog. Right, do you want to just finish anything about the turrets? Do you want to add anything on the turrets?
No. I haven't really played around with tanks that whole lot in CTE. I wasn't really aware that there was that much of a turret speed change, but I've been told, and I know that it's probably that ridiculously fast. And yeah, and I would agree with anything that, like he says. If he says it's too damn fast, then yeah, it's too damn fast.
All right, so like I said, stay on the Battlefield community, Balog. All right. We want to talk about the Battlefield community in general, and we still. How long we are? 30 minutes in the podcast, yeah.
Yep, half hour in. So
all right, so half an hour we're gonna spend just talking about the Battlefield community in general because, oh boy. All right, so, all right, I'm gonna start on this. Because in the notes I added the first thing. The first thing that comes to my mind is Battlefield community is too hostile sometimes. Way too hostile. And on this note, you guys watched the video I just linked here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, alright, so, because I watched the video, and I remember I watched this like a year ago or something like that, but then I remembered and I just watched it again, and I'm thinking, you know what, things haven't changed that much since then, since Battlefield 3. So, alright, when I'm talking about this video, it's a video made by Drifter. He's a popular YouTube Call of Duty player. People right now are going to be raging right now. Wait, you said Call of Duty? Yes. He's a Call of Duty player. He does YouTube about Call of Duty. And he plays Battlefield. I think he played Bad Company 2 too, but I don't know. But Battlefield 3, that's where he announced it, like, yeah, I'm playing Battlefield. So, and he was posting videos about Battlefield 3 and all that. Like the stats, like weapon stats, all those guides and all that for Battlefield 3. And he's a co-player. He plays Battlefield. And the problem with was he quit playing Battlefield, at least posting videos about Battlefield, because the Battlefield community were harassing him to stop making videos about Battlefield because they said they don't want any Call of Duty people playing Battlefield. And I'm like, you know what? Even though we shit on Call of Duty, yeah, personally, and we played the beta Black Ops 3 free.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel ashamed for that.
You know what?
Oh, hello,
He's
Thunder.
yeah, Drifter. Yeah, you know what? I don't. Who gives a shit what kind of game he plays? He's a normal dude that enjoys Battlefield. I mean, now, well, he enjoys Call of Duty, but he enjoys Battlefield for what it is, and he loves that. A person enjoying video games, and Battlefield community is really hostile to Call of Duty. I mean, I understand we also shit on COD, but I don't shit on people just because if they want to get into Battlefield, that's fine. I mean, a bit of nice approach to these players will be cool. I mean, if a player is a retard, that's fine. Okay, he's a retard. I mean, we need to shit on those players because we need to be more aggressive with
Well,
them.
if they're ignorant of the game and you actually show this person what to do and, like, you know, actually how to do things and, like, hey, you know, remember that game mode called Domination from Call of Duty? Okay, yeah, well, this is on a grander scale, and remember those static vehicles that used to be strewn about in those maps of yours? Yeah, well, you can get in those now and drive those around. So if you explain that to a person and they're like, oh, okay, and then continue to go on doing what they think is right in order to go, and they're bad at it, and people continue to try to show them as a community properly how to do it, and then they rage, then yes, by all means, you're an idiot. Why? Go back. Don't bother coming back, because clearly you can't learn, and you don't want to adapt, and you don't want to change and play to the game. Don't go to the forums and start screaming at the top of your head over, why is it this like this? Because it's not the same. It's not the same game.
I'm just gonna say, all right. I know you're gonna talk about. I'm just gonna say this. You know what? Even though Battlefield community in the majority are fucking idiots, fucking elitist, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking lie. Battlefield
Well-
community in my eyes is one of the most shittest. I actually made a video about that, but it's one of the shittest communities around. But the actual core, the actual hardcore, like Battlefield community that actually gives a shit about Battlefield are not that type of people. Then for example, us, yeah. You know what? If a core player comes to us like, yeah, I want to play Battlefield, we're gonna teach him how to play Battlefield. We're not gonna shit on him and say, no, you're a Call of Duty player, get the fuck out.
We'll crack
No.
some jokes once in a while, maybe.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
yeah, like,
it's-
yeah. Notice how that truck moved?
Yeah, you don't have that in COD and shit. No, but it's so wrong to shit on players and just say, no, you suck, get the fuck out. It's so wrong. I mean, the actual core community is not that bad. I mean, we're not.
Well-
I mean, obviously, I can't speak for every person in Battlefield community, but I believe the actual core people, the actual core community is not. They're not horrible people. They're not elitist. I hope. Of course, we actually had a fair share of elitists, especially those people that hate on consoles. Holy shit, those are the best ones. Those are the best ones. But this is my view. This is what I'm saying. And all right, anyone wants to add on this?
Well, there's a lot of what
I know you
want
got a
to
lot of stuff. I know. You got a lot.
Like,
What about
where to start? Like,
Start with the beginning, I guess.
the people who are like, because that video that you showed us, it was people writing to a person who people knew that Call of Duty players watch his channel, and so they were writing to him, and not in some sort of ragey fashion, in very cold, like well written, well punctuated emails,
Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
saying like that they wished him well as a Battlefield player, but they were kindly asking him to stop making Battlefield videos so that the Call of Duty players who watched his channel would not see it, so that they wouldn't come over to Battlefield and experience it and ruin it. And I think that attitude right there, I don't feel like I even have to fight against it, because I think that attitude is automatically a self-defeating attitude. Because if you're the kind of player who thinks that Battlefield is this nice community of dedicated players and it's the excellent niche, and you don't want it to appeal to a wider audience, well, does that sound attractive to a developer? Like, can you please make a game for us that will appeal to a very small, closed community that doesn't want to expand, doesn't want new people?
I might call a
doesn't want
couple
to
of
hear
games.
that.
I may call a couple of games, but anyway.
No, but every developer wants as many people to play the game as possible.
That's
But it's
natural.
like, I feel
That's how
like,
it stays alive. Yeah.
yeah. If you look at Armor and say, well, not many people play Armor, and they could be doing different things, and more people
Well,
would be playing. I would
I
argue
play
that,
Arma. I play Arma. Correct me. There's like about 6 or 7 million copies sold of Arma 3. Maybe I'm into too far with the numbers, but a lot of people play Arma. But here's the thing:
yeah,
when you go to a random person, a random gamer, you would say Arma. Most of them will know what the fuck is Arma is. They will never know. Majority will never know what the hell Arma is. So
but
this is how I see it.
yeah, like I would consider Armor to appeal to a niche community, which is like a significant amount smaller than, say, the community that plays Call of Duty. And like, you could say that like Armor could be doing things to appeal to more people, but it isn't. So therefore, like what I said before is invalid, because clearly the Armor developers don't want to appeal to more people. They want to appeal to the niche. I don't think you can look at it that way, though, because it's not that they necessarily that they necessarily want to appeal to a niche. I mean, they probably do. They probably care about the style. They probably have a passion for that kind of game. But games like Armor, you couldn't. If you tried to take Armor and turn it into Call of Duty, would you be as successful as Call of Duty? No, you wouldn't, because Call of Duty is Call of Duty. And in the same way, Battlefield can't be Call of Duty, because if it tries to be Call of Duty, then people would be like, I could be playing Call of Duty, or I could be playing a copy of Call of Duty that isn't Call of Duty. So I think I'll play Call of Duty.
I don't know. I mean, remember, it isn't at least Call of Duty.
Well,
Just because it's a different name and shit.
yeah. I think, like, Battlefield is in the excellent position to cater to a large population. Like, if you imagine what kind of game you would make to appeal to as many people as possible, I think that's what Call of Duty is trying to be, and is currently successful at being the game that is the best at catering for the most amount of people there is. Like, the most amount of people possible for a game to sort of cater for at once. But there has to be a game to cater for everyone who Call of Duty doesn't cater for. There is a large amount of people that are outside of the confines of Call of Duty who want something else, and Battlefield is the perfect game place to cater for that. And so I think that's what Battlefield should try to be. And if I was the developer or EA or whatever, I would be saying the game should be that. But the idea that it should be this closed system for these core Battlefield fans, that's not going to sell to a developer. It's not going to sell to EA, and it's pointless to sort of argue that point. I'm not saying that the best game is found in like appealing to the masses and trying to do what Call of Duty does and appeal to everyone. I think if you do that, then what tends to happen is more people have fun, but everyone has less fun. Like, if you were to cater for a niche and make the perfect game for that niche, everyone who enjoys that game has a lot of fun. Whereas you can sort of spread that out, and so everyone has less fun, but there are more people having fun.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that Battlefield is is a casual shooter either. I mean, after all, it's a casual shooter.
It's
like
a
it
little
or
bit
not.
of everything. It's
Oh,
a little bit
don't
of
say
vehicle
casual.
combat. It's a little bit of
Don't
jet
use the
combat.
term casual, man.
It's
Oh,
arcade.
oh,
Casual.
too much, too
No,
much.
no,
Oh,
the-
you can't.
What does it
No,
The
mean?
term is arcade.
What does casual mean?
Well, I'm not saying casual as a bad player. I'm saying casual as because you can all. Battlefield is one of those type of games. Yeah, if you want a serious action, like proper PTFO action, I mean, you can't really get that with randos. You might get sometime if you're lucky. But let's say you have a group of friends. Yeah, you have a group of friends. You have like an hour to spend. Yeah, or half an hour. You can always team up, go on a conquest game or a domination, whatever rustles your genius, I guess, whatever makes you happy, infantry, vehicles, whatever. There's game modes for that. And I'm calling it casual because you have half an hour or an hour to play, and there's no problem to team up and play together on a server and have a little bit of fun, a bit of some serious PTFO action. With Arma, it takes a lot of planning. I mean, I play Arma, but it takes a lot of time of planning everything just to be like, all right, we're gonna attack this, we're gonna do that, and that, and it takes about 3-4 hours just to do one mission. I mean, that's fine if I'm into that. If I have the time, I do it because I play Arma and I love it. I love for that military realism. Yeah, you might argue the squad, the game that is in Kickstarter right now, or I think he hit the limit with Kickstarter. I don't know. The game called the Squad. People really, some YouTubers like, oh, it's awesome and all that. But yeah, but how many people are playing? Again, we're entering this milsim territory. It's a bit too much for people, and it's because of time consuming. And it's, I mean, yeah, if I want to play, I have the time, I'll do it maybe once a week. That's
But at
why
the same time, I can sit and I can play Battlefield for the exact same length of time too.
or that. But either way, this is why I call it casual, because you can actually enjoy like for a short period of time and still have that awesome PTFO playing the objective action. But with other games like milsims like Arma and Squad, it's a bit too much.
You
A
can't
bit,
like pop in and pop out.
Yeah. I think that's a sensible definition of casual. Like, casual is a game that people can jump in and out really fast. Like, when I think casual, that's what I think. 'Cause it's like someone who, they work and they game when they can. And I don't think that there should be any sort of disrespect for that sort of situation that people end up in, or they occupy. Like, you can't just say that they're bad people for doing that. They
exactly.
enjoy games like everyone else, but they have other things to do with their time. But my issue is that people use the term casual not for that, not just for that at least. They use the term casual for the eternal noob, the person who can never learn.
Yep.
And saying that a person who can only play occasionally is equal to a person who can never learn is very presumptuous. I mean, if you only play occasionally, maybe it takes longer for you to learn because you can't play very often and there's large breaks between your playtime. And so it's like you learn the thing, then you forget it, then you pick up where you've left off, but you forgot some things. It takes time. But, the eternal noob is more extreme than that, and I think that can happen to people who play every day, but they are still the eternal noob. I don't know what makes the eternal noob tick, but I think you need to have some sort of clarity between what you're saying, and people use casual for all sorts of things. Sometimes people call people casuals just because they are noobs who will learn in time, but they are new, but they are playing in a style that the person doesn't agree with, so they call them casual. Other times, people call people casual just because they don't play in a way that they agree with, or they don't want a style of gameplay that is what they think is what Battlefield should be. Like, oh, if you play Operation Lockers, you're a casual because that's not what Battlefield's about. But
you're casual, Dark. Oh, okay.
yeah. I play my fair share of Operation Lockers. I play it on 32-man because 64-man Operation Lockers is sadomasochism. Or well, masochism.
Yeah, he loves the pain. He loves the pain. He loves those Operation Locker games. But anyway, I'm not judging you. At least not now.
I play tanks with every time you play, I'm playing with
No,
you.
I'm just messing around with you. I'm just
No.
messing around with you. But yeah,
No.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Casual term is a bit too much. I mean, people not using it correctly.
There are people who play like Operation Lockers for hours. They don't just drop in for an hour and pop out. They don't play it just because it's easy to get into. Maybe they play it all the time because they're just obsessed with the way Operation Lockers works. The whole gameplay of Operation Lockers, that's what they like. And I mean, if you look at it, people say that Battlefield isn't about that sort of stuff and it's bad, that we shouldn't have Operation Lockers. But if you look at the amount of people that play things like Operation Lockers and Operation Metro, you know, there's something there that people want. And maybe it should be separate from the whole tanky giant maps, all that stuff. But it, in a way, deserves being catered to. And especially if the developer's thinking, well, if I cater to those people, there's so many people there. I could, you know, if I made the perfect game for maps like Operation Lockers, Operation Metro, if we could make more maps like this and package it off as its own little game, you know, you could perhaps make a pretty penny there. And to say, like, it's bad, I think is stupid. And if you say that catering to what is popular is well, not necessarily what is popular, like if you take this stance that it should be confined to this niche of whatever your predefined idea of what Battlefield 4 is, if you
It's not Battlefield 4. It's just Battlefield in general.
yeah, if you try to limit the game to your personal views, then if you there's no point in like asking for that if the developer is never going to pick it up. So I think if you want an effective idea, if you want an effective suggestion for a developer on what Battlefield should be, it needs to be an idea that sells and appeals to people. You know, it's got to be something that actually at the it matters to the developer's bottom line, which is, you know, getting people to buy it and play it. And I want more people to play Battlefield. I like Battlefield, and I want more people to like Battlefield. So
Why do you want to limit your limited audience and play between yourself? Like it's, I mean, what's the fun in that? I mean, and besides, every developer wants to grow. I mean, every developer, every publisher wants to grow, and I mean, it's only natural. And I want to say, oh yeah, so. Like you said, Battlefield offers a lot of different experiences. You want some vehicle warfare? You got Silk Road, you got, you might say China Horizon maps or something like that. You got those, you got that action, and you got infantry like Metro, Locker, Propaganda, all those different maps. Yeah, and this is why the community map, the bloody community map, it's an infantry-focused map, and there's gonna be a lot of infantry-focused game modes. And the Conquest is basically infantry. It's basically propaganda, but with jungle.
At the same time, I don't want to see like a total shift to more infantry-focused game modes. I mean,
yeah.
No, we're not.
I like seeing a lot of infantry-focused game modes, but if wanting in order to pander to everyone would be the best way I see it. In order to go about it, would be to just focus a little bit more on two separate branching of game modes. You have a couple of game modes where it's mixed infantry, which would be your Conquest, large, small, and then you could have another game mode where it's mixed as well. And then you have one where it's just vehicle only. You could bring armored warfare back, or bring tank
superiority.
Tank superiority back. Tank superiority, and you have air superiority, and then you branch those off, and then you have those game modes. They're all off onto a separate game mode, into a menu. And then you can have just infantry only. And then you could have game modes that are infantry only, like Dom, TDM, or even, alright, if you wanted to go so crazy to just bring Deathmatch, or have Gunmaster be a thing. Or Squad Deathmatch, or Squad whatever. And then you can have a server rotation where it's rotating around in those game modes. And then that player is constantly knowing that they're going to be in an infantry-only experience. And then the vehicle-only player is going to know that they're going to be in a vehicle-only experience. And then you have the mixed player who knows, okay, well, I'm going to be in a mix of all of this because I want Conquest.
But, for example, this is why I love Dice Lay, how they're going with the new maps coming for Battlefield 4. Community map, infantry-focused, really heavy infantry-focused. Dragon Valley is a heavy vehicle map. I mean, it's a really, really heavy vehicle map, and and people complain when it's not wasn't Grand Bazaar. I mean, like, all right, remain on the community topic. People complained that it's not Grand Bazaar that is gonna be remade for the Battlefield 4. Yeah, I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? Community map is a proper infantry map. This is much better than fucking Grand Bazaar. Dragon Valley, yeah, it's a Battlefield 2 map, and it's a good thing. We need more Battlefield 2 maps because those maps are really great. Gulf of Oman, I mean, whatever you think about the Sandstone, doesn't matter. It's still a great map on Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 4. It's still a great map. And people still complain, oh, we need more infantry maps. Yeah, you get those infantry maps. And this is the community. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Maybe 60-70% of the community right now was they probably started at Battlefield 3. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Battlefield 3 why made it big. This is what Battlefield 3 made Battlefield. They actually put Battlefield on the map. It's like one of the biggest FPS games in the market.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
Battlefield
I
3.
remember people were saying like, people were setting up Bad Company 2 to be a potential COD killer. But I mean, I think it really became reality in Battlefield 3. And so, yeah, you were saying.
No, I'm just saying that Battlefield 3 is the game that started everything. And I don't want to repeat myself, and this is why people are really pissed off at Battlefield 4 map design or something like that, because the Battlefield 4 maps are really more mixed. They're mixed. Battlefield 3 maps were really, I won't say really heavy infantry, but most of the maps are really in heavy infantry maps.
I don't
And-
know. It depends from map to map. Like, if you look
Yeah,
at
but
Armored Kill, it was
most-
just a...
Well, not including DLC, I'm talking about vanilla in general.
Fine.
I mean, because Close Quarters was, then there was Striker Kankat, but that's... anyway, I'm not talking about DLCs, I'm just talking about vanilla, because vanilla, at the end of the day, vanilla is what... this is what, well, judges the game, I guess. What the vanilla con, because it's available to everyone. DLC is DLC because it's extra. It's not... Vanilla is always the main thing that you need to judge. And comparing to Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 when it comes to vanilla, Battlefield 4 maps are really mixed. They offer... People say, oh, vehicles, they're dominating the maps. Like, fuck no. Did you ever know how... Did you ever play Battlefield 8? Do you know how easy it is to destroy a vehicle? 2 NG guys. 2-3 small shots, that's it, he's done. And if you hit it from the back, 1 shot is enough. Because he's gonna get mobility hit, and he's an open target. So... It's a mixed bag, and this is what I love about Battlefield 4. It offers everything. Battlefield 3 was just a infantry fest, and the maps, the way the maps are designed, they always give you they always lead you to that choke point. If you flank here, it's still gonna lead you to a choke point. You're still gonna hit those areas that you're gonna see like 5 dudes. I mean, I remember I played a game Battlefield 3 was like 2 weeks ago, maybe. I think I remember I can't remember which map was that, but I remember I flanked around here, and there's like. I'm behind the enemy, yeah, but there's like 7-8 dudes I can kill in front of my eyes. Like, I made that flank here. But that's still, it's a 64-man server. There was like about another 8 dudes behind me. So, I killed like 3 or 4 dudes out of those 7, but guys behind me killed me. But, I understand why the community is... Like I said, Battlefield 3, this way it all started.
Yeah.
People need to stop complaining about the like Grand Bazaar, like it's not been Battlefield 4. People need to stop complaining. I mean, the backlog went berserk. I mean, YouTubers also, they were like, some YouTubers, not saying all of them, but some YouTubers, or former YouTubers, they're saying, oh, this is garbage, we need Grand Bazaar, we need Nasha canals, all that crap. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't
I'm
know.
still holding out hope that they're going to remake the exact layout of Noshar Canal's TDM in logs. No, somewhere on some map.
But
Yeah,
they kind of
they
do.
already
Because
like,
I'm a
made
TDM
hints
scrub.
of that. But I don't know if they can really pull it off, because like North Canal,
Dragon
it's
Valley.
not only yeah, but I mean like for the North Canal,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not only those things,
You can
but
tell.
I mean there are the train tracks. I mean
I can
up
dream.
there. And the train tracks are really important part of the North Canal map because it kind of makes like the upper limit where basically one team is while the other team is more like at the sea side. So yeah, I mean this, and I didn't see that so far. Maybe they'll include
Yeah.
something, but
All right,
yeah.
all right. So let's move on a little bit. These all your notes you did, Dark. So
Yeah.
all right. So wait, where's it going?
You want me to?
Oh,
no?
yeah. I got confused. Sorry. So yeah. So would you trust the community to make the fun game, like make Battlefield the way they want to?
I mean, imagine, like, take your view of the community, and just imagine that was like a single person making a decision, or a group of people in a committee or something, deciding how to make the next Battlefield game. Would it be fun? Do you think it would be fun? You know?
Personally,
Yeah.
I can already. Personally, if I consider all the certain YouTubers, then the dialogue, then some Reddit pages, if I combine into everything, no, I think it's gonna be a fucking mess. And the game, okay, I'm not. The game will probably be like. It's gonna be a really heavy infantry focused game with probably one tank on the map. This is how I see
No,
it.
I don't think that would be.
I think it's hard to imagine. I'm just saying it's hard to imagine what they will actually, what the community will
Yeah.
actually make. It's a if question. What
Yeah.
if?
I feel like if you were to personify my view of the community and that was to make a decision, like, it would not make any sort of coherent sense whatsoever. Because the thing about the community is no one ever agrees on anything. You've got air gameplay and you've got people in the airplane saying that, oh, we're getting locked on too much. And then you've got the people on the ground saying we're getting wrecked by people in the air who we can't ever touch. But you can touch them, you can touch them in lock-ons. And it's like the two people argue at each other all the time. And like everyone's got their own view of what Battlefield is. And none of them match up. Like, it makes perfect sense because if you think about it, up until like 2142, they made, like, you could probably have come up with some sort of standard idea of what Battlefield is because all the games offered a very similar experience, just with a sort of different visual appearance and slightly variations on the mechanic. Like, instead of jets, you've got like hover fighter, whatever they were. I don't know what they're called.
Beatles.
How?
Them VTOLs. Have they got like an actual name other than VTOL?
Yeah, Beatles. Oh, you mean
Vertical
the
takeoff
in-game
and
name?
landing.
No, I know what VTOL stands for.
Yeah,
Make
but yeah, they have, but I don't
Yeah.
know the.
But like after that, we had Bad Company, and I think that's like a valid spin-off. I think that if you consider it its own separate thing, it's a great idea, and I don't have any bad feelings towards it. And like people joining Battlefield Bad Company 2, they like if that was the game that you came into, that's a very different experience from the previous Battlefield titles. And then you have like Battlefield 3, and then you come into a core Battlefield title. It doesn't have any like extra bit on the end. It's not a Bad Company. It's not anything separate, a spin-off or anything. It's meant to be a core Battlefield title, yet it's still a very different experience from the originals. And so, like, we've had a number of games since the good old days that the veterans like to remember. And the game's been very different, like each time, I think. Like, even if you compare Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, there are definite differences. And so, like, when you say, like, Battlefield is really about this, I think that's kind of losing its meaning because it isn't. Because, different Battlefield games have been made. And so to say Battlefield is this and Battlefield is that, I think it's becoming pointless. And instead we should be thinking about, I think I would enjoy this and I think I would enjoy that.
and people aren't thinking about what would actually make the game fun, and they're thinking about like how to
Yeah.
appeal to their sense of identity, which is sort of why I asked the question.
I disagree a bit. I say people think about how to make the game fun for themselves.
Yeah, they do, and I think it's because they all think that they are true Battlefielders, and
Their opinion is
if
God.
if
and
they
it is
if they
sound
feel it's
overall.
fun, then all the other true Battlefielders must agree on it and think it's fun. But the truth is, they don't. And when you say, it's like it's the true Scotsman problem. It's like, you say that, a true Scotsman wouldn't commit that horrible, violent murder. No, you say a Scotsman wouldn't commit a horrible, violent murder, and then you find out he is the Scotsman who committed it, and then you say, oh no, true Scotsman would commit it. It's the same in Battlefield. Like you say, Battlefield is about this, and then someone says, well, I play Battlefield and I think it should be like that, and you say, well, you're not a true Battlefielder. Well, they are, because they play Battlefield. So
Yeah, it goes back to my argument. Just because a person A plays Call of Duty, and then he switches to Battlefield. Like again, this is my argument. Yeah, he's not a true Battlefield. I'm not. No, he's a Battlefield player because he plays Battlefield. Doesn't matter what other games he plays. And we, as a community, we have to we have to accept that more new people will come in to the franchise and they want to enjoy the game. But at the same time, we have to be friendly to them. But at the same time, we have to explain how to play this game. Oh, okay. At the same time, this is where the team initiative thing comes in. DICE has to work. I mean, what happened? They gave too much freedom again. I think they gave too much freedom to the Battlefield community. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's a playground. Do whatever you want. Play the objective. No, Battlefield. I think DICE needs to take a bit of more steps into making players to PTFO.
I think it needs the whole PTFO thing. Like,
well, I'm just gonna say, it's a hard subject. It's a hard subject. It's a really hard subject.
Play PTF, like the idea of play the objective. That's a secondary issue. Like, the core thing that they need to consider is how to make their game as fun as possible. On the whole, like you don't want it to be fun for one particular guy and for everyone else it's a miserable experience. You want it so that it's as fun as possible for everyone, and so PTFO comes under that umbrella, because if a person's not playing the objective, then like if half of your team isn't playing the objective, you're not having fun if you're trying to. So you want a game where it encourages people to act in a manner which is fun for everyone else. And I think that idea of freedom's great, but I think you need to shape it into you need to play mind games with people, and like if people want to do something because it's fun, then you should make what is fun, like you should work it into the game and somehow like
freedom has to become, I don't know. It's really give free.
The thing is the average gamer sees funds as unlocks, getting points, and I'm doing stuff.
No, great. But that I don't think that.
Yeah. Well, who says you can't implement that with PTFO?
You can make playing the objective fun. You can give players more incentives in order to play the objectives. Like, take less points, like, make it less points for kills, make it less points for other things, give, like, capturing flags and planning objectives, like, massive amounts more worth of points than what they already get. Then might see a little bit more shift in that, but maybe even the rhetoric in itself of how single player is. And again, like we'd fall back on a topic we talked to before, having your single player laid out so that it works like a multiplayer game, so that it encourages that, like, oh, this is how the game's supposed to be played. Hey, it's fun when you play the game the way that it's supposed to be played. Cool.
I don't know. It's a really difficult subject, but I don't know. I don't know who I have to blame personally for people not PTFOing. Should I blame DICE? Should I blame these people because they're idiots? Or should I blame someone else? Should I blame EA for whatever. I don't know who I have to blame, but I just know that what needs to be done. Personally, from my point of view,
I
we
think
just
you,
need to encourage people to PTFO and make PTFO fun and reasonable, and it should have a reason. It should have a purpose. It
Yeah.
should have a purpose, and the purpose is there. I mean, it's at the end of the day, Battlefield 4 is a fun working game right now. It's fun, especially with
Yeah.
friends. It's fun. It's fun to PTFO and everything like that. It's really fun. We can confirm that. We play together and it's fun. But just because we play together, because we know the idea of Battlefield, other people don't. So
I think I just don't like using the idea of Battlefield anymore, because I think you come up again with these questions of what exactly is Battlefield, because Battlefield is changing and Battlefield has the right to change. The developers have a right to redefine what Battlefield is as time changes. And if you don't do that, you die, because there are problems in the old games that would, they were genuine issues which the old games never solved. Like I've heard that Battlefield 2 had really bad grenade spam, and we've fixed our grenade spam issue now through various measures, which perhaps sometimes are a bit too harsh, and that gets on my nerves sometimes. But if you aren't prepared to move forward, then that's the way to death. So I think we should not come at this from an idea of we know what Battlefield is and we should
no, we're not.
guide
We're
it in
not.
that direction.
We're not.
I think we have to admit,
all of us here have different opinions what Battlefield should be, and it's normal.
We should all admit that we all find different things fun, and we should be concerned about what makes us fun, and say we need to be honest about saying what we think is fun, and saying that another thing isn't fun is kind of stupid, because someone might find it fun, and you say certain things aren't acceptable because they're not fun. You've got to be concerned about yourself, and you've got to be thinking about what other people feel is fun. Because if you make a game that pleases you but pleases nobody else, well, that's not of any interest to the developer's bottom line. So I think instead of saying what is Battlefield and let's make the game like what true Battlefield is, we've got to say, well, this is what we want from our game. And the thing that's common from all the Battlefield players, I think, is the idea of Battlefield is more team-based than the big competition, which is Call of Duty.
Yes, that's true.
So
all the arguments we have here, at the end of the day, it leads to one same argument: team-based.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's
is.
always got to be team-based. And
work as
I
a
think-
team. That's the end of the. I mean, that's the final argument. We might have different ideas how we want to do that, but still the same argument:
Yeah, yeah.
team-based.
What drives me mad is that people on the forums are always saying we should make it team-based by punishing people who don't play as a team. I haven't seen that work yet. I think we've done lots of things that make it so that not playing as a team, gets you punished, and we've brainstormed lots of ideas about punishing people who don't team play, and I don't think it's going to work. I think what you need to do is make playing as a team fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, or make it natural. It's either make it so that doing team play gives you a good feeling, so you want to go back to it, or make it so that doing what you want to do that gets you fun automatically causes you to accidentally team play. For instance, if you want people to stick together, you could give someone this is a sort of goes with the idea of a more casual, more less serious version of Battlefield, like a Bad Company 3. If you were to give people an area of effect buff around them, that if team members stand near them, they get something, well, then that would be like an automatic reward for just being with other people. And it would, instead of relying on someone to give out a med kit, and if they don't give that med kit, then the whole team gets punished and other people get punished apart from them. If you make it like this automatic system, then people learn that being with your team is a good thing. You get extra benefits, and you don't have to rely on that person to be listening to you and You don't have to ask him for an item. It just automatically appears around him. It's like that sort of thing makes team play happen in a natural sense. Sure, you can argue that it's not skill based and therefore it's bad. I don't think that makes sense, because from what we've seen in Battlefield, you get times when you need ammo, you go to a medkit, you ask him for ammo, he never gives it you, and you get frustrated. It's really frustrating, and it appears time and time again on the forums, people saying, that moment when you go up to that ammo guy and he does not give you ammo.
Every time we play together, you always hear me on the mic, this son of a bitch doesn't give ammo.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And that's the one mechanic I actually agreed from Hardline that was kind of nifty, was they didn't give you ammo, you could just walk up and take it. But again, that kind of discouraged having team play and the need for, the support person or the medic person to throw the med bag or the ammo bag out in the first damn place. They can just run around and do whatever willy-nilly, and if people need ammo, hey, just run up to me real quick, even if I just happen to be in the middle of a gunfight.
I mean, do we want to make a game which is all skill-based and great, pros can be really pro and all the noobs can suffer? Or do we want to make a game that everyone finds fun?
Again,
for as many people as possible.
It depends what you call skill or what you call pro. I mean, doing team-based things like flying a helicopter on the map and just creating that deploy point for your team. How is that not skillful than a guy running around with the AK and killing, again, 50 plus KD? How's that less skillful than flying a heli around the map with all the lock-ons and stingers and creating that deploy point for your team? How is that less skillful? So here's the thing, it depends what you call skillful. And people are like, oh no, I have infantry, like I can kill and have this KD. Who gives a shit about KD? Your team lost anyway. I mean, for example, I was playing against a hacker.
If you got that KD holding a flag down, yeah, I'll respect you for that. Like if you if you're on Zavad and you kept running between Bravo and Charlie on Conquest Large and, you kept holding those two flags down on infantry because those are mostly infantry flags, then yeah, hats off to you for getting that 38 and 2 whatever KD. Props. However, if you decided to sit off in the hills with your suppressed bolt action and just pluck people off left and right, and your team loses, then screw you.
I think I've mentioned the idea of fun a lot, and I know that there are people who say, you say call them out for doing something stupid and it gets people killed or whatever, and they say, I don't care, I play for fun, and they're saying it like my bad performance doesn't matter because I play for fun,
It's everyone's interpretation of fun clashing with each other, and not all the time does it mesh well. You can't patch that.
There are other people who say, in reaction to that, you say, it's not meant to be about... Stop thinking about fun. You shouldn't be thinking about fun. You should be thinking about the competition. I play for competition. But the person who plays for competition plays because they find competition fun. The person who says that they play for fun is saying a statement which is completely redundant. Everyone plays games for fun, apart from maybe some, competitive people who play for a profit. But, I'd imagine at some point they started off finding the game fun before they started earning money from it. But everyone plays games for fun. So when a person says, I play for fun, it's not because if you don't like what that normally they are trying to say, they aren't saying that, fun is about not taking the game seriously. They're fooling themselves if that's what they think. Everyone playing the game has fun. What they're really saying, without actually saying it, is that I don't care what you think. I just want to mess around and be stupid. It's not about fun because everyone has fun playing the game. I seriously find fun in the competition. You start playing on a match and some guy kills you and he's really good, and you spend the entire rest of the match trying to be as good as him, and you get to that point where you start killing him as much as he kills you, and you're the top 2 people on the scoreboard and everyone else is below you, and it's that awesome feeling that you found the person who's an actual challenge. I love that. And I also the whole KD thing, I look at my KD, but I never it's been a long time since I've adopted a protectionist sort of technique of like sitting at the back of the map, just trying to get kills without getting any deaths. I don't take that stance anymore. I play the objective while trying to be as good as I can be. So fun comes from lots of different directions. So when I say, we should be thinking about fun, I'm not saying we shouldn't be thinking about how to make a skill-based competitive game, because skill-based competitive gameplay is fun for a lot of people. So it's not an either-or situation. And don't think that I'm saying that we should make a game that is not skill-based and is not competitive or whatever. I think we should make it so that it is fun, and once it is fun, we should make sure that it is, well, there is benefit in making sure that it can also be played well in a competitive scene. There's benefit for the developer, and I think there's people like that stuff these days, So, yeah.
Want to add anything, Cyanide?
No. I think I've put enough in.
Well, Prenato, you got anything?
No, I mean, are we still
Because-
on the second question?
I mean,
If we don't have to go
yeah,
by
we
the-
don't have. Listen, if anyone got anything to add about the Battlefield community in general, something like that, well, I'll go a piece at the end right now. But anyone got anything to add on the community in general?
I don't know.
Um,
I just wanna say it's not probably necessarily a problem with Battlefield community, but rather a problem with online community in general. It's
Yeah,
like with the
it's-
hostility and
Yeah.
It's an online
you
community
see that
thing in
everywhere.
general.
I
Well,
think
I'm just... Okay, go on.
I think Battlefield is simply the place where a symptom sort of expresses itself. It's because Battlefield is the big
if you have a
competitive
community that big, you're gonna have a lot of trolls.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this, like you already mentioned that the bigger you go, the more idiots will come, because human race in general are idiots. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest. Human race is one of the most smartest, but at the same time the most stupidest race on this planet. But species, not race. I'm just gonna say this. Battlefield community in core is, like I already said, is not that bad. I mean, we care about the game. We might have different opinions. We might argue about those opinions. But at the same time, we're trying to achieve the same goal. We want to make a fun game to everyone. Will be DICE, will be us, anyone. We just want to make a fun game to everyone, and that everyone will enjoy. You want to tell me you don't enjoy a game that everyone enjoys their presence there? You want to tell me that's not fun? We're like everyone band together to play a game together. I mean, that's awesome. And it's kind of sad to see that Battlefield community is a bit of that douchebag mentality sometimes, and that elitism. Like, oh, PC is the best, console is shit, oh, consoles is stopping development for Battlefield. I mean, like, some people say, like, Battlefield has to be a PC exclusive. I mean, are you fucking insane? I mean, without consoles, without those sellers, Battlefield wouldn't be Battlefield. Battlefield would be like fucking Squad right now, competing with Arma. Would be a mil sim probably at this point, because originally Battlefield was a mil sim. Kind of. It was
42, yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, it was designed to be a mil sim. And if Battlefield will be a PC exclusive right now, it will compete with Arma. So whoever hates consoles that Battlefield is shit or something like that, no, just please stop. It's not the consoles. Consoles have their own thing, like they play with their shittier graphics. Well, it's not even graphics thing. I mean, consoles like Battlefield players too. So a bit of respect too, and then not slowing the development of the game. Don't be stupid. I mean, you want to tell me that PCs? You want to tell me that everyone has super high-end PCs at their homes? No, a lot of people play on the fucking.
But it's not only the graphics thing.
No, it's not even graphics. Like, a lot of people still play on laptops, weak computers, and they want to play the game. That means they have to lower the. This is where the minimum requirement comes in. So just because it's gonna be exclusive doesn't mean it's gonna be ultra perfect. No, it's gonna be different, and it's probably gonna be more serious. And
You can't
I'm just-
cater a huge experience to one individual person, period. End of story.
yeah, I'm just saying this.
Any
Please.
format, any form, any which way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this, like, Battlefield community, I'm actually pleading to you, actually. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be a douchebag to everyone. Please, show some respect.
Everybody love everybody!
Yeah, just some respect. Respect, like, oh, you're a console player, you're shit. No, respect him. He's a Battlefield player. What? Too. I mean, he plays Battlefield 2, so respect.
Do you know what
That's
the
all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. A bit of respect between each other. That's it. Yeah, what
do you know what the do you know what the motto of Dirty Bomb is?
Go on.
Don't be a dick. But I just want to say, I don't think the community can fix itself. Like, all we've said is pointless. I don't think that the community has the ability to exert control over itself. It can't make a decision for itself because it's just a body of people. I think ultimately it's up to the developer to... The developer controls the game, and the game shapes who buys the game, and therefore that shapes the community. So I think it's up to the developer to really come up with a solution to this, whether that be how they manage the forums. I don't think that the forum management is really going to make that much of a difference, but I think what's going to have to happen is the community cannot be fixed. Ultimately, there is a split here, and you can either split the community into two games, or you can trim the community and cut off the bits that are poisonous. Like, you can't cater for everyone, and if people are going to be all upset about the fact that they don't get catered to, ultimately, if they're hurting the game, like, the developer may just have to decide we can't support that anymore. We can't make a game that caters for your needs, and we know you're going to get mad about it, but taking this path is what makes the most sales, and that's what game developers want. So I hope that they split the game into sort of two separate, like, branches, probably Bad Company series and the Battlefield series, or they, like, do them intermittently, like one game like core Battlefield and then another game something different, like something something that can appeal to the people that don't necessarily like the whole traditional view of the giant battlefields and the tanks and all. Let's add more stuff. Let's add more and more and more.
Hardline.
I don't think that's what Hardline is. I think
well,
Hardline...
I think that's what it was supposed to be.
What, more? I don't...
No, not more.
But just supposed to be that game that was supposed to just separate the community a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
because
I think they
look at what the focus of it mostly came out of. Infantry focus, vehicles. You could all shoot up all vehicles with light arms. Anything with heavy arms was all battle pickups. You didn't come running out with them.
I think Battlefield Hardline is just a massive miscalculation because the community just isn't interested in police.
You know what? Like I already said, I'm happy that Hardline exists. I'm the guy that shits on Hardline. I'm the guy that shits on Hardline because I think it's one of the most biggest mistakes EA ever pulled.
But it needed to happen.
Yeah, but it needed to happen. It needed to happen because it only proved to all of us. It proved. I mean, it's a living proof.
You can't completely change the face of it. You can change the core base of it or take some aspects out of the base, and it still appeals to people because there are people that play Hardline to this day. I could probably go on to BF Hardline stats right now and probably laugh at the 200 and some odd PC players that are on and the couple of tens of thousands of console players that are on. But at any rate,
Hardline's even doing war.
But
yeah,
it didn't appeal to anybody.
It's barely good on consoles.
But
barely.
Again, but even to say that it didn't appeal to anybody that's still remaining and staying on it, it's not a good argument.
Oh.
I think the
Almost
reason why it didn't
1,000
stay
players
is
on
because everyone
PC.
was like completely obvious that it was a reskin. What they could have done was just made it literal, like Dark said, toned down, less vehicle, or a complete all-out whatever, and still kept that same Battlefield tone to it. Wait a minute! I argued that point a long time ago in the beta.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, before the beta. I remember how we got hated, like,
Yeah,
don't tell me how to spend my money. Don't tell me what to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then a month later, I'm like,
Well, I don't want to go shoving crow, so. But at any rate, I think we've
Anyway.
rambled on long enough for this evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, so I think how
Yeah.
long we've been talking? More than
More
Almost-
than what we usually have been.
yeah.
Yeah, we're close to 90 minutes.
Okay, that's cool. I can still edit that. So I'm just gonna ask. Well, before I'm gonna ask, I just want to thank you, everyone that actually listens till the end. That's awesome because there's some people that I actually check the YouTube stats and all that. People actually watch till the end, so thank you. You're MVP. I mean, that's awesome.
Your Advil is on the way.
Yeah, and leave a comment in the YouTube section. That's cool or whatever. I mean, it's nice to have nice to know that somebody actually listens till the end, and that's awesome.
We do love you.
Yeah, and to the new guys that actually listen to the end, I hope there's some new guys. Anyway, I just want to thank everyone that actually listens, and that's really awesome from you guys. And
Streaming's become a big thing. We're gonna start doing that a little bit more often. That's probably gonna be like becoming an annual thing for Friday nights at least. One of the two of us will at least. So
We're probably
one
streaming
can't,
on
then the other
Tuesday.
will.
we're probably streaming on Tuesday because you got Metal Gear.
I have Metal Gear
And the
coming
Night
up
Map's
on
coming out.
Tuesday, and then what? What?
Well, Night Map is coming on Tuesday,
Oh
so people.
yeah. Well, so whatever tickles your fancy, you can either check out Metal Gear with me, or you can check out the Night Map, or you can check out both. Bounce back and forth. Hey, whatever.
Mhm.
Respective Twitch channels below in the comments or below in the description.
Twitch, yeah. There are the links in the description. I need to sort them out. That's gonna it, I guess. So I'm gonna ask my members to say goodbye. So let's start with Dark.
Goodbye.
Cyanide.
Good night. Goodbye. Whatever.
Tornado. Are you still
Good
high?
morning, everyone.
Touche. Alright, thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for listening, and we're gonna see you on the next one.